Jai Hind, my dear students. Today we are going to learn in this video about robots and robotics. Okay, so through this video you will be able to differentiate between robots and automatic machines. You will learn about robots and their history. You will understand the various component classification and the types of robots. You will know about some famous Indian robots, and you will understand the term robotics and how it is different from artificial intelligence. So what is robot? A robot is a complex machine developed to perform a series of complex action. But every automatic complex machine is not a robot. Okay, so we'll learn more about these robots in this video. So there is a homework for you. Just identify these pictures and the robot and comment it in the comment box. Okay, comment their names. So let's understand the robot. The word robotics has been derived from the word robot. Okay, so this word comes from the Slavic word robota, which means salve or salva. Okay, a robot is a machine that is programmed by a computer and can do many complex actions automatically. Robots are either controlled by an external control device or from within. They can be designed in human form, but most of them are based on machine design. They are programmed to perform all tasks regardless of their looks. Okay, so usually when robots are mentioned, a humanoid figures comes into mind, but that is not true. For example, look at these pictures. Okay, so they all are robot, but they do not have the usual humanoid form. Okay, is that clear to everybody? Okay, so now let's learn about history of robot. So in 1954, the first industrial robot Unimate was designed by George Devon. He coined this term universal automation. He later shortened it to Unimation, which became the name of the first robot company in 1962. In 1978, the programmable universal machine for assembly, that is known as Puma robot, was developed by Unimation with General Motors design support. Okay, and in 1980s, by this era, the robot industries had entered a phase of rapid growth. Many institutions introduced programs and courses on robotics. These courses were spread across the various branches such as mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and computer science. Okay, so in 2003, NASA twin robot geologist, the Mars Exploration Rover, was launched towards Mars on 10th June and 7th July 2003. They were sent in search of water on Mars. This program was a long-term effort in the field of robotic exploration of space. So robot versus automatic machine. So what is the difference between it? Robot and automatic machine? So the main difference between robot and automatic machine is self-sufficiency. Okay, machine require human intervention while robot can operate independently. A robot contain various essential characteristics. Okay, so there are three essential characteristics. The first one is sense. Okay, so a robot uses sensor to perceive its environment by detecting various physical properties such as light, sound, distance, temperature, and pressure. It then converts them into electrical signals that the robot control system can interpret and use to make informed decision about its action. Okay, second is think. So a robot use microprocessor and microcontroller. So everybody knows what is microprocessor and microcontroller, right? So to think and process information stored in the form of programs or codes. So microprocessors are primarily used for complex computational tasks like image processing and path planning. Microcontroller is the brain of the robot. Okay, so it contains central processing unit, read only memory, random access memory, input output unit, and so on a single chip. Okay, third is act. A robot use actuator and motors to carry out actions. An actuator is a machine that can convert the energy of one form into another. Okay, so in the case of robot, an actuator converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. Okay, and it receives electrical energy directly from the robot's control system through programmed instruction. So actuators are integrated with sensor and control system to help robot operate automatically. Okay, so you can see from the images machines that are robot and machines that are not robot. Okay, so what are the components of robot? Robot typically involve various components that come together to create a functioning systems. But key components of robots are, first is actuator. Okay, so actuator, they are like robot muscle converting energy into motions. Okay, they are powered by electricity, hydraulics, or pneumatics, moving the robot limbs, wheels, and other parts. Okay, second is sensor. So sensor are the robot's eye and ears giving information about its surrounding. They come in types like light, proximity, and force sensors. Third is power supply. Robots need a power source like batteries or electricity to work, depending on the robot type or its task. Okay, and fourth is controller. So controller is the robot's brain, getting input from sensor and sending commands to actuator. It interprets data, make decisions, and control movement. Okay, next is structure. So structure gives physical support and protection to the robot's component. It can be metal, plastic, or composite material. Okay, and second last is programming, so which is very important. The brain of robot include algorithm, AI, and software for decision making, movement, and interaction. Okay, last one is end effectors. So these are the tools like grippers, welding arms, or sensor that allow the robot to interact with its environment. Next is types of robot. So depending upon the use and application, robot can be classified into three types. Okay, so the first one is simple level robots. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, these are the simple level robots. So these robots are simple and cannot carry out heavy or complex tasks. Okay, they are basically just able to support humans in their daily task, like line following robot, obstacle detecting robot, remote controlled car. You know, children's used to play these remote car. You know. Okay, and second one is middle level robot. Okay, so these robot once programmed cannot be reprogrammed and have sensor based circuit which can perform multiple tasks like drone, robotic vacuum cleaner, and robotic arm. Third is complex level robot. So these robots can be programmed and reprogrammed easily. Okay, so these robots exhibit advanced capabilities like autonomy, adaptability, etc. Okay, for example, like Honda Asimo, Boston Dynamic Atlas, and Sophia Robot. Is that clear? So, what are the classification of robot? So, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, robots can be defined as a machine capable of carrying out a complex series of action automatically, especially the one programmable by a computer. They can be classified based on their working environment or application. So, based on working environment, robots are classified into two categories: fixed robot and mobile robot. So fixed robot, these are mostly used in industries with a well defined work environment adapted for robots. These robots perform specific repetitive tasks like painting parts in a car, manufacturing plant. Okay, so with high capacity centers, they are also used increasingly for high precision surgery. Okay, and mobile robots, they move around and perform tasks in large uncertain environments. They are quite helpful in situations that are not defined in advance and keep on changing over time. Okay, so they deal with unpredictable entities like human and even animals. Self-driving car, vacuum cleaner, and drones are some examples of mobile robot. So based on application, robots are have precision, accuracy, speed, dependability. Okay, so companies are trying their best to bring robot into action. So first is industrial robots. So initially the robots that were created were industrial robot that were used to perform simple and repetitive tasks in a well-defined environment. The simplicity of the task and well-defined environment and simplified their design process. However, today's industrial robots can manipulate objects in different orientations and even recognize the various objects that need to be packaged in a different order. Okay, second is service robot. So service robots have improved sensors and interact with human closely. They are used to assist human in tasks like cleaning, transportation, self-application, medical procedure like surgery. Okay, and third is military robot. So being in army is a tough job. Everybody knows. So robot help to make the work of the soldier easier. There are many different scenarios in which a robot can help the army. Like robot that can detect explosive will be a great help to army man. Okay, fourth is space and outer space robot. So these type of robots are brought into play in space shuttles. They are used in international space stations together with Mars Explorer and other robots. They are employed in space exploration and other such activities. Okay. So there are some famous Indian robots. The first is Daksh. So Daksh is an indigenously developed robot. It was created by Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO of India. It is a military robot that is used for many purposes like recovering explosive, other hazardous objects. So the Daksh series of robots have two other variants like Daksh Mini and Daksh Scout. Okay. Second is ERA 2.0. So ERA 2.0 is a humanoid robot. It was launched by SDFC to answer customer queries and frequently ask questions of the customers. So these robots are capable of interacting with the customer, visiting the branch and guiding them. And it lets the customer use their voice to raise their queries and receive appropriate answer. Third is Mitra. So it is a humanoid robot. It was created by Invento Robotics. Okay, it can greet customer and also interact with them using facial and speech recognition. It also has a capability to understand the context of a speech and interact accordingly. Okay, so fourth is Manav. So Manav is the India's first 3D printed robot. Okay, so it is 2 feet tall and has 21 sensors and camera built into it in its eye sockets. It also has 2 mic for voice input, and it has the capability to process sound, visual input, and interact with the people just like human beings interact. Okay, so it can perform many other tasks like walking, talking, dancing, by using command. So you do not need any laptop to command it. You just tell, it will perform the task. So let's introduce to robotics. So what is robotics? Robotics is a branch of engineering and science. It deals with the designing, construction, operation, and the use of robots. It also includes the design of computer systems for the control, sensory feedback, and information processing. Robotic is used to develop machines that can act as a substitute for humans and replicate human actions. So most of the research today in the field of robotics involve revolve around making robots more autonomous by improving their sensors and enhancing intelligent controls. Efforts are made to make the robots more flexible and adaptable towards new situations based on human interaction and past learning. So it requires both sensing and intelligence as well as understanding the psychology and sociology of human interaction. So Sophia is a social humanoid robot with the ability to display more than 50 facial expression. It was developed by a Hong Kong based company, Hanson Robotic. So Sophia was activated on 19th March 2015 and made her first public appearance in mid March 2016 in Austin, Texas, US. Okay, so with the granting of visa by Saudi Arab in October 2017, Sophia became the first robot to receive citizenship of any country. In November 2017, Sophia was named the United Nations Development Programming first ever innovation champion and first non-human to be given any United Nations title. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe and like and comment. Okay, Jai Hind.